Now, let me paint a picture for you. You're in your local record store, you're browsing through the new arrivals bin, and something catches your eye. The top strip of a record that says Mobile Fidelity Sound Labs on it, or Mobile Fidelity Sound Pressing. And you might ask yourself, what exactly does that mean? Now, if you're into vinyl records, you would know who exactly Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab are and what they do, but if you're not, it's something that you'll see on higher priced records, and you might scratch your chin and think, well, why exactly should I invest in that? If it's so damn expensive, what am I getting into, and why should I care about these pressings? Now, I have behind me two Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab pressings. The first one here on the right is a 1977 copy of Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. The other one here is Floodland by the Sisters of Mercy. You may notice that both of these albums are not from the same publishers, they are not from the same labels. However, they were picked up in-house by Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab for remastering. And we'll get into the history here. To really understand Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab, you have to look back at how they started. So we're going to go back not to the 70s where they really started focusing on music, but we're going to start in the mid-50s when they were doing pressings of test records for high-end audio setups. So if you invested money, essentially, in a really good audio setup, a high-end audio setup, you would want some kind of test records that you could play on your setup to demonstrate the quality of the setup that you have. Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab's first pressings in the mid-50s consisted of things like sounds of jet fighter planes or sounds of locomotives. These pressings did catch the attention of a lot of audiophiles, however they didn't really reach a market audience that was very broad. So you have a lot of early 50s pressings of Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab records that are really good pieces to test a setup, but nothing that would really catch the eye of anyone looking for a great sound musically. So you fast forward about 20 years, and something happens in the early 70s that really accelerates the want and need for Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab's later pressings. You have the oil crisis in the United States. The oil crisis essentially causes most vinyl records to start having to cut down on what exactly they're using quality-wise. So you go from what we call virgin vinyl records, and a virgin vinyl record is vinyl that has never been used before, it's unrecycled product, and it is fresh for the pressing that it's going to. Now, in the early 70s with the gas crisis, it was a lot harder and a lot more expensive to get vinyl pressings of a good quality, so you get a lot of really thin records on a ton of recycled material. And you can really imagine that these pressings don't have a very good sound quality, a lot more hissing, a lot more buzzing. It's so bad that to this day there's a rumor that persists that a lot of those pressings were made with recycled Bic ballpoint pen caps, to paint a picture for you. So what exactly was Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab to do in this situation? You have the oil crisis going on, and you have this waning interest in supplying proper virgin vinyl to pressing houses because it's just too expensive. So they had already stood apart before as a high-end distributor of very nice records. In 1977, Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab shifted their focus completely to half-speed original master recording, otherwise known as OMR. Now, what exactly does that mean? So essentially, Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab is licensing previously released and recorded music to re-release it with superior sound quality, hence why you have two releases here from unassociated labels, both going out under the same house. During this process, the lathe moves at half speed. On a normal pressing of a record, you would pull the tape to one master disc and then make copies off of that disc rather than the tape because you can wear the tape down quicker. Mobile Fidelity throws that out the window, and while I'm not sure, I believe with the half-speed mastering, it actually lessens the wear on an analog master tape, to my knowledge. I might be wrong on that, but someone source me. The source audio is pulled from the tape, and it is recorded with little to no compression or EQing onto a new disc. So you get a very clean sound that is very true to the original recording, and so you get these very high quality pressings that are highly sought after, like this 1977 pressing of Dark Side of the Moon. As for the physical record itself and its properties, the records themselves were pressed in Japan after mastering on JVC's proprietary material called super vinyl, a stronger, thicker, more durable format that would have less humming, less buzz, less noise in general, and less pops. It would also be able to handle the load from a quadraphonic system and be able to handle quadraphonic records in general. So they are more expensive, but you have a far cleaner sound. So to just give you a quick rundown on Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab, they are just a pressing house that remasters to the original artist's intent and puts out records at the highest quality standard they can. Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab eventually branched out into different lines. You'll have obviously the original master recording line here, and these, I don't remember exactly what these ones are called, but it's essentially a similar process. While not as intensive and not to the highest amount of sound quality, it's still a better master on these ones. But essentially, if you see that mark on the top of those records, pick one up, give it a try, compare it to another pressing you have. It's all in the eye of the beholder, man. Anyway, thank you so much for coming by, and I hope you learned a little bit something, and I hope you keep your eye out for some Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab pressings. Thank you. See you on the flip side.